I had the pleasure of shadowing Emily Jenkins Followell. Emily is a freelance photographer based in Atlanta, Georgia, specializing in interior, exterior, and lifestyle photography.
A normal photo shoot would start usually between 8 and 9 and get to the house and unload our gear and kind of walk around and see what the light's going to do throughout the house and what rooms we need to photograph and what our job is, whether it's a magazine and we're just focusing on the kitchen, or it's an interior designer or an architect and we're trying to shoot the whole house, which can go into a second day as well. And then we work as hard as we can all day trying to get the shots that we need and moving furniture around, and it's nonstop. The days that I'm not shooting, I'm running around doing errands and working in the office and doing all the back end stuff. It's busy every day.
I met Emily at about 8 in the morning at the home of Anna Brond, an interior designer also based in Roswell, Georgia. Anna's home was beautifully prepared to be photographed by Emily, to be featured in Atlanta Homes magazine in a few short weeks. We immediately began the shoot on the back porch where the morning light was pouring onto the furniture and decor. After a few short hours outside, we moved inside to shoot the living room and bedroom areas.
I guess every photograph is a piece of art. We're trying to find the best composition, show off the designer's talent, show off the architect's talent, and create a pretty picture. So whereas you see in a real estate listing a big wide shot of a room, I don't like to do that. I like to, if I have to do a big wide shot of the room, it needs to be pretty. And I like to do vignettes and play with the lines and the composition and the rule of thirds, and in order to create a pretty image that is a piece of art and not just a picture.
We then moved outside to the front porch, where we were greeted with a couple of furry friends, making the day even more enjoyable than it already was.
Just like what we did today. That's so much fun, and learning about other people and their styles and how they work, and watching people in their homes, learning what I like and what I don't like, and just the people is a lot of fun, and that I get to do every day what I love to do, take pictures. I love taking designer and architects' talents, because I think it is a huge talent what they do, that they can see an empty box or nothing and create something beautiful. So all I'm doing is going in and capturing what they've created, and that to me is wonderful. And like the designer today, she's relatively new and getting her name out there, so it's just been awesome to be able to work for her and then turn her stuff around and pitch it to magazines and get her published. That to me is just very rewarding, to be able to help someone else out and see their careers take off.
The amount of time that goes into styling a room was the most valuable thing I learned throughout the day. What seemed like it would only take about 15 minutes to shoot actually took an hour or two. Everything has to be perfect, and I mean perfect. Each pillow has to be fluffed, every blanket has to be folded symmetrically, and the magazines on the table have to be perfectly placed, or this shot has to be done again.
The biggest challenges would be when it's a dark day, when it's about to start raining. If it is raining, I can still shoot inside. My exposures just get a lot longer, and I've got to create pretty light. Whereas today, on this gorgeous day, we didn't have to bring in any extra lights. If it's a dark day, we've got to still make a pretty picture. And some of my exposures can even be 30 seconds long to try to get as much natural light as we can.
Shadowing Emily was different than anything I've ever experienced. It's normal to look through magazines such as Atlanta Homes or Garden and Gun and see beautifully styled living rooms and kitchens with beautiful light and feeling like you want your house to look just like that photo one day. But the thing was, I was standing in that room looking at it for myself. It was an experience I'd never encountered, but was so happy that I did.
My assistant is awesome, and she has become a friend, and I don't really like calling her an assistant because she's my right hand and usually my brain sometimes. But we work well together, and I treat her as a friend, and she knows kind of what to do right when we get in and set things up and have us going, and while I'm chatting with the homeowner or the designer and making a game plan for the day. And she helps me a lot off camera when we're in the office and editing and creating books of jobs, and helping me remember that I need to get somebody their pictures and bill a job out and that kind of thing. So I'm in debt to her.
I've never worked with a photographer that was more calm and pleasant than Emily. She has a way of enjoying every step of her work and producing an amazing product at the same time. Emily isn't afraid of doing whatever it takes in order to get a perfect shot, and for that reason, she has made her way into an industry that highlights and rewards that kind of work ethic.
I shoot a lot for Traditional Home magazine and Atlanta Homes and Lifestyles. Today we were working for Atlanta Magazine Home, Veranda, Southern Living, Southern Accents when that was around, a lot of the Better Homes and Gardens special interest publications.
This type of photography is truly an art form. It's a way the photographer and interior designer express themselves visually. I found myself being able to relate to Emily in this way. Although we practice different forms of photography, hers being more artistic and mine being more photojournalistic, our goal of expressing feelings and emotion for a specific audience is the same. Emily is someone I look up to not only as a successful photographer, but more importantly as someone I can go to for advice or help when I need a true expert.